Ah, my friend, so you noticed that the woman who was always there, giving you all the attention, suddenly turned into an iceberg, right? Out of nowhere, she disappears, becomes cold, and you start to wonder if all that sweet talk you had actually meant anything. Frustrating? Yes, of course. But before you start freaking out trying to figure out what went wrong, let me tell you something. There's a way to turn this situation to your advantage. Yes, you read that right. In this video, I'm going to teach you 8 actions you need to take when she starts pulling away. And look, these tips are simple, but they're so powerful that they'll make her rethink everything and come running back to you, begging for your attention. But pay attention, because if you ignore what I'm about to tell you, then, my dear, you can say goodbye for good. Ready to change the game? Let's go. Number 1, keep your feelings a secret. Let's get straight to the point. No beating around the bush. The biggest mistake many guys make is spilling their hearts out, thinking that the clearer they are about their feelings, the better their chances of winning the woman. But here's a harsh truth. When you lay all your interest on her, you're basically showing all your cards, letting her see exactly how much you're invested. And guess what? That only serves to make her absolutely certain she's got you wrapped around her finger. And when she knows you're fully there, completely into her, you know what happens? She relaxes. Yes, because in her mind, you're already a sure thing, familiar territory. And even if you try to pull away, play disinterest, she'll see right through it, knowing deep down you're still drooling over her. The result? She simply won't take you seriously. You become predictable. And predictable, my friend, is the opposite of attractive. Now, if you really want to change the course of this story, the first thing you need to do is put a brake on that urge to show too much of your feelings. That doesn't mean you need to turn into a cold, insensitive guy who doesn't care. That's not it. The key here is to be strategic. Show less, be more reserved. Control what you reveal and when you reveal it. When you stop flaunting how much you're into her, something interesting happens. She starts questioning things. Yes, all that confidence she had, thinking she had you under control, starts to dissolve. She'll realize the scenario has changed, that you're no longer there, handed to her on a silver platter, always available, always ready to please. And this, my dear, messes with her ego in ways you can't even imagine. The woman who was once comfortable, secure, starts to feel a twinge of insecurity. She'll wonder what happened, why you're not so present, so into her anymore. And here's the crucial point. This discomfort, this feeling that she might be losing control, is what will make her start seeing you in a different light. Suddenly, she'll want to know more about what's going on in your head. She'll start making an effort to regain that attention she thought was guaranteed. And then, my friend, the game completely changes. You go from being a predictable guy who was always into her to a challenge. And challenges, you must know, are irresistible. When you master your emotions and stop exposing everything you feel like an open book, you not only gain her respect, but also the power in the relationship. Because in the end, the real power lies in the one who can maintain control, who knows how to play with emotions, and doesn't give in so easily. So, if you want some straightforward advice, it's this. Shut your mouth about your feelings. Let her guess. Let her wonder. Let her feel a bit insecure. Because it's in that space of doubt that you gain real power over the situation. And when you're in control, my friend, you stop being just another guy and become the one she truly desires to win over. Number 2, be unavailable. Now, let's talk about something essential if you really want to turn the game around. Being unavailable. Ah, my friend, you can't keep running like a little puppy every time she snaps her fingers or sends a message. You know what the big problem is? When you're always there, ready for anything, she starts thinking you have nothing more interesting going on in your life. And that, for a woman, is a big turnoff. So, what's the play? Simple. Make her wait. Yes, you read that right. When she asks you out or sends a message, pretend you have more important things to do. And honestly, you should. Don't be rude, but make her feel that suddenly she's no longer your priority. Because look, when you put someone at the top of your list, you automatically put yourself below that person. And if there's one thing life has taught me, it's that no one respects someone who always puts themselves down. This kind of behavior hits a woman where it hurts most, in her self-esteem, especially if she was used to having you in the palm of her hand, at her beck and call for any whim or desire.
When you start to pull away, become inaccessible, she'll feel uncomfortable.
She'll wonder why the hell you're no longer there, chasing after her like before. And that doubt, that feeling of insecurity, is your trump card. Now let me be clear, you can't play hard to get and remain available at the same time. It's like trying to maintain a facade of disinterest while desperately seeking attention. If you want her to notice that things have changed, you need to show it through actions, not words. Stop replying instantly to messages, cancel or decline some invitations, and start living your life without her at the center of your universe. You know what happens when you do this? She starts to panic because suddenly, that guy who was always there, available and predictable, isn't so within her reach anymore. This creates a sense of urgency and anxiety, and suddenly you become the prize she doesn't want to lose. And it's at this exact moment that she starts chasing after you, because in the end, no one values what's always available. So, if you want to be valued, learn to be unavailable. Number 3, leave the desperation to her. Now let's touch on a crucial point where many guys mess up badly. Desperation. It's almost like an automatic reflex. The woman pulls away, gets cold, treats you with disdain, and what do? You chase after her, beg for explanations, desperately seek attention as if she were the last person on earth. My friend, that's practically signing your defeat sentence. When you react this way, you know what you're doing? You're handing all the power over to her. It's like you're saying, "Look, I'm so desperate for you that I'm willing to crawl." And do you know the result of this? She sees you as someone without value, someone who has no idea of their own worth. And what does a woman do with a man who doesn't value himself? She stomps on him without mercy. But do you know how you change this game? Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and stop acting like a madman. When you realize things aren't the way they should be, that she's not recognizing your value, it's time to pull back for real. And I'm not talking about playing games, pretending to pull away just to see if she chases after you. No, I'm talking about a real withdrawal, where you understand that if she doesn't value you, you have better things to do with your life. It's at this exact moment that the desperation, which was once in you, shifts to her. That woman who was comfortable, feeling like a queen, suddenly realizes her throne is under threat. She thought you'd do anything to keep her around, but now you're showing that you're not willing to accept crumbs. And that, my dear, leaves her in shock. The secret here is simple but powerful. Stop being desperate. Don't chase after her every time she pulls away. Instead, pull away too and watch. See how she reacts. Most of the time, she'll realize she's lost control over you, and then the game changes. What really attracted her was the power she thought she had over you. When you take that away from her, she feels a void, a loss, and starts chasing after you to try to regain what she thought was guaranteed. So, the next time she pulls away, don't panic. Leave the desperation to her. You'll see how this simple change in attitude can completely transform the dynamics between you. And the best part? You'll finally start being treated with the value you deserve. Number 4, make her see. There are others in the picture. Now let's talk about a strategy that strikes right at the heart of her ego, making it clear she's not your only option. Man, a fatal mistake that many men make is standing still, waiting for the so-called queen to decide if she wants to come back or not, while life passes by and opportunities slip away. Sitting at home, arms crossed, waiting for her to make an appearance, is practically signing your own sentence of irrelevance. You know what this communicates to her, that you're available like a toy she can pick up and drop whenever she pleases. She feels secure, comfortable, thinking that at any moment she decides to give you attention, you'll be there, ready, just waiting for her. And that, my friend, is the biggest shot in the foot you can take. But what if you did things differently? What if instead of waiting around pathetically, you showed that life goes on? That you're going out with other women, meeting new people, and honestly, you don't have time to mourn over someone who doesn't give you the value you deserve? When you adopt this stance, the game changes drastically. The woman who was once all confident, sure she had you in her grasp, starts to feel that chill down her spine. She'll wonder why you're going out with others, what those others have that she doesn't, and the doubt starts to gnaw at her confidence. And it's not just jealousy, it's the real fear of losing. She realizes that if she doesn't act quickly, she could lose you to someone who's giving you the value she failed to give. And this isn't about playing childish games, but about showing that you're a man of value, someone who's not going to sit around waiting for scraps of her attention. It's about moving forward, showing that you have options, and that if she's not up to the mark, others will be. This attitude not only makes her rethink the way she treats you, but also puts you in a position of power. Suddenly, the woman who was once in control starts to realize that her position isn't as secure as she thought. And it's at this moment that she enters a state of desperation, feeling the urgent need to win you back because the idea of losing you to another is unbearable for her. So the next time she gives you the cold shoulder, show her that you're doing just fine without her because life's too short to wait around for someone who doesn't value you. Number 5, make her the desperate one. We've reached the icing on the cake, turning her desperation into a race against time to win you back. This is the point where you reverse the roles, where you stop being the guy who's chasing and become the prize she fears losing. And how do you do that? Simple. Stop accepting scraps and start showing that you're the one truly in control of the game. Let's be realistic here. When you're always available, always trying to please, what you're doing is basically handing over control on a silver platter. And guess what? She's going to use that against you, consciously or unconsciously. But when you flip the script, when you start to pull away, show that you have other options and that you're not going to accept just anything, the scenario changes completely. As she realizes that control is slipping through her fingers, that you're no longer there, ready to accept the little she offers, she goes into panic mode. Yes, that knot in your stomach that you felt when you thought you were going to lose her is now what she feels. And that's exactly what you want. Suddenly, she's the one chasing after you, trying to regain what she thought was guaranteed. And do you know what's the best part? It's at this moment that you realize that the power, which was once entirely in her hands, is now yours. You become the one desired, the one who doesn't need to beg for attention or affection. Instead of settling for crumbs, you make it clear that you deserve a feast. And if she's not willing to offer that, there are plenty of people out there who are. This is the point where you make her desperate, where the fear of losing you drives her to chase after you, and you finally understand that you're the one who sets the rules of the game. So, my friend, make her the desperate one. Let her feel the fear of losing you, because it's at that moment that the true power is revealed. And when the power is in your hands, you stop being just another guy and become the one everyone wants, but few can have. Number 6, master the art of mystery. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful elements in the game of seduction, mystery. Most guys think that to win a woman over, they need to open up completely, tell her everything about their life, their intentions, their dreams, their fears. They think that by being completely transparent, they'll win her trust and her heart. But do you know what really happens when you're an open book? She loses interest, just like that, because there's nothing more boring and predictable than someone you already know inside out. Mystery is what keeps people intrigued, interested, wanting to know more, and that's what you need to master. Don't reveal everything about yourself all at once. Be enigmatic. Make her have to guess what's going on in your head. When she asks you a question, don't give a direct answer. Play around a bit, be vague. This doesn't mean being dishonest, but rather creating an aura of mystery around you. This makes her think about you, trying to figure out who you really are. Moreover, mystery is also in how you conduct your actions. Don't make it clear what your next moves are. Be unpredictable. One moment you're there, the next you're gone for a while. One moment you show interest, the next you're focused on other things. This oscillation keeps her on her toes, always trying to figure out what you're thinking, where you're headed, and most importantly, never fully reveal your feelings or plans. Let her keep wondering what you really want, what you really feel. This uncertainty, this feeling that she doesn't completely know you, is what will keep her interested, always wanting more. When you master the art of mystery, you become irresistible because people are drawn to what they can't fully understand. And believe me, she'll want to decipher you, and in the process, she'll fall even more in love. Number 7, value your time and energy. Now let's touch on a point that many men simply ignore: the value of your time and energy. Seriously, how many guys do you know who waste hours, days, weeks chasing after a woman who doesn't even value them? It's like throwing gold in the trash, my friend. What you need to understand once and for all is that your time is the most precious resource you have. It's limited. It doesn't come back, and every second you spend is a second you'll never get back. So why the hell are you still wasting your time on someone who doesn't give you the due value? It's time to stop this nonsense. If she's not reciprocating your effort, not showing genuine interest, then she doesn't deserve your time. And believe me, when you start valuing your time, the people around you start to do the same. You need to be selective. Not everyone deserves your attention, your affection, your dedication. This doesn't mean being selfish, but rather having self-respect. It means recognizing that you have a lot to offer and won't waste it on someone who doesn't know how to value it. When you start to pull away from those who don't deserve your time, you automatically raise your value in the eyes of others. People realize that you're not someone who can be easily won over, that you have priorities, that you know what you want. And it's not just about pulling away physically. It's also about not investing emotionally in someone who's not reciprocating. Stop wasting your mental energy thinking about how to please her, how to win back someone who clearly isn't on the same page. Direct that energy toward yourself, your projects, and other people who truly value you. When she realizes you're no longer so available, that your time is something she has to earn, she'll start to see you differently. Suddenly, you become that guy she can't have so easily, the one she needs to make an effort to keep around. And this change in dynamics puts you in control of the situation. So, the next time you think about investing your time in someone, ask yourself a simple question. Does this person deserve it? If the answer is no, value yourself. Because in the end, those who respect their own time and energy are respected by others. And that's the real power. Number 8, be the protagonist of your own life. To wrap things up with a golden key, let's talk about the most powerful change you can make: taking the lead role in your own life. Look, many guys make the mistake of living for someone else, putting a woman at the center of their universe as if everything revolves around her. And that's exactly what makes you lose control and become just a supporting character in a story that should be yours. It's time to turn this game around. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to be happy, to take control of your life. Put yourself first, not as an act of selfishness, but as a demonstration of self-respect. When you start living for yourself, when your goals, dreams, and desires become the priority, you stop being the one chasing and become the one everyone wants to follow. Being the protagonist of your life means making decisions based on what's best for you, not on what pleases others. It means you stop accepting crumbs and start demanding the full feast because you know your worth. This not only boosts your self-esteem, but also makes the people around you respect you more. They see that you're a man with purpose, with direction, and who won't settle for less than he deserves. And you know what's the real beauty of this? When you become the protagonist, you naturally attract those who truly value you. You no longer need to beg for attention or subject yourself to games, because the people who really matter will want to be part of your life, will want to be by your side, sharing in your success. So my friend, stop being a passive spectator in your own story. Stand up, take the reins, and be the protagonist, because in the end, the only person who can decide the direction of your life is you. And when you do that, when you truly put yourself at the center of your story, everything around you starts to change. You stop being the one who follows others and become the one who is followed. And that, my dear, is the true definition of power. We've reached the end of this video, and I hope you've gotten the message. Life is too short to live as a supporting character, chasing after those who don't value you. Every action you take defines who you are and how the people around you see you. If you want to be respected, admired, and desired, it's time to take control. Don't accept scraps. Don't let desperation take over. And above all, don't be afraid to be the protagonist of your own story. Remember, the power is in your hands. You don't need to chase after anyone, because when you know your worth, the right people will chase after you. It's time to stand up, value yourself, and live life on your own terms. You're the author of your story, so write it with greatness. If this message impacted you in any way, don't hesitate to share it with that friend who needs to hear these truths. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more content that will help you take control of your life. See you in the next video, and remember, you're the one in charge of your story. See you soon.